Okay, you know how D&D, the tabletop game, has been hard wokeified. I've covered it many times, right? Well, the designers that did this, Christopher Perkins and Jeremy Crawford, retire after destroying the game with a woke agenda. Leaving behind a game they fundamentally transformed to turn the game woke before facing any consequences from Hasbro for their decision. So yeah, Hasbro took a big hit money wise, player base wise, and they took the fuck off. Just no, they left. They're out. With the new edition of D&D, Wizards of the Coast has already courted controversy with their changes to the game by adding diversity, equity, and inclusion agenda on top of their core rulebook. D&D players, as a result, have been watching their beloved role-playing game of questing and fighting monsters turn into a political cudgel and social conditioning tool by the Hasbro Corporation. BDSM fetish community practices, yes, they incorporated that, and yes, it is like it sounds. Imagery of BIPOC, which yes, by people of color, but BIPOC sounds like a disease or a monster one. But anyway, BIPOC and female characters at a margin of more than 5-1 for white male characters. So 5-1. The game doesn't allow players to play half elves, half orcs, also replacing the term race with species to try to be politically correct. So you can no longer be in half elf or half orc. Because I guess that's racist.
I know half elves used to be the most popular class or race to play.
They removed orcs entirely because I think they thought they were Mexicans, which who does that make racist? Not us.
Yeah. I never thought of an orc as a Mexican. I thought of an orc as an orc. So
Okay, they didn't remove them as playable. They removed them as monsters. And offered no rule set for players to create their own monsters, a time-honored tradition in D&D. So you can no longer, according to them, create your own monsters. And orcs are no longer monsters because they're nice Mexicans now. Sounds like they're racist. They also called the creator, one of the creators, Gary Gygax, misogynistic and accusing him of cultural appropriation. Isn't that what they did when they called orcs Mexicans?
yes, it is.
Down to the definition of the word.
Yeah.
Key architect of these changes are abandoning ship Christopher Perkins, 28-year veteran of Wizards of the Coast, announced his retirement in April. Today, I retire from Wizards of the Coast after 28 years with D&D's 50th anniversary wrapping up and the revised rule book doing gangbusters. Yeah, I wouldn't call it that. This is the perfect fairy tale ending for me, not for the rest of us, not for the player base.
No, it's a horror movie.
The timing suggests that these designers may be leaving before having to face the consequences of their decisions as sales figures for the controversial 2024 core rule books begin to emerge. Yes? Okay, thoughts on that?
Yeah, they took the money and ran.
Oh yeah. They seen they made a mess and just they didn't want to deal with it, so they just left it.
Well, you know, D&D is a time-honored tradition. It's been around for decades, and they just ruined it. In one fell swoop, they just ruined the whole thing. So now...
I just can't help but to mock this picture.
Good Lord!
Look, over there on the right is Juan Valdez.
Yeah.
He's looking for coffee plants, no, that's not what they're called. What do they call them?
Coffee beans.
Yeah, but that what they grow on. Anyway, moving on.
I don't know.
We have these children under the rock about to be crushed because there is a fat ass orc up on top with her little twink husband.
Is that what that is?
Child? I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know, but this was never what orcs were until last year.
True.
And they decided to see them as Mexicans. And then said that we were being the racist ones and that the creator of the game, one of the creators, Gary Gygax, was culturally appropriating when this is the very thing that they are doing.
Yeah. They ought to be ashamed of themselves.
It's just complete nonsense.
Yeah, it is. And the thing is this is going to stay like that until somebody goes in there and puts it back like it's supposed to be, if
Well,
that ever happens.
That's why I was just reading earlier about Troll Lord games.
Yeah.
Were you people even paying attention? Because I barely was.
Yeah, it's Troll Lord Games.
Yeah.
And what was theirs called again?
Castles and Crusaders.
Yeah.
Okay, so my point being is we have competition emerging, and because of all this wokeism, it is driving this competition to riches. It is driving this competition to success, to the top, and quickly. And I am glad to see it happening. Kind of like we are bound to see a video game industry crash, and I can't wait for it. I mean, we have plenty enough backlog. We have plenty of great games. I want to see it crash so they will learn once and for all we can't do this. So they're always going to have a reference point to go, oh, remember what happened back in 2020, whatever. So maybe they will learn at least for another 100 years.
Well, you know what kind of grief the company that did Black Myth Wukong got, and that was a good game, I thought.
It was a big success.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was a huge success.
Yeah. Even though the media tried to put it down and say it wasn't, it obviously was.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't personally play it, but I seen you play it, and it looked all right. I mean, it looked pretty. It was a very good game.